Welcome back to Pickleball Guys. I'm Fred, and today I'm finally getting the chance to give my first impression review on the Selkirk Labs Project Boomstik pickleball paddles. Due to the whole tariff situation between the US and Canada, we weren't able to reasonably bring these in when they were initially launched. There have been plenty of reviews on the Boomstiks published since then, but I really wanted to share my thoughts on them as well, since they have the highest price tag of any other paddle that we currently carry. So, let's get into what makes these paddles so special. I'll go through the specs, I'll share my first impression thoughts on how it plays, and then I'll summarize with who it might appeal to. The Project Boomstik has some unique features. The first thing you'll notice is the MOI Tuning System. MOI stands for Moment of Inertia. These are semi-permanent clips that come pre-installed to the paddle and are supposed to increase the sweet spot by providing more stability on off-center hits. The clips weigh 7.5 grams each, so combined they weigh about half an ounce. At first glance, they might appear as if they can slide or be easily removed. However, I would not mess with these. These are securely attached, and attempting to remove them will likely damage your paddle, so accept these as part of the paddle. The Boomstik is a dual foam core paddle, with their proprietary Boomcore foam in the center, surrounded by a layer of EVA foam, which is separated by a small gap that helps increase the integrity of the core. The paddles have a unibody design with carbon fiber seam running down into the handle. The outer EVA foam ends at the start of the handle, which is filled with polymer honeycomb. There's also an additional layer of expanding edge foam that begins in the neck and extends down through the honeycomb of the handle. The surface is comprised of T700 carbon fiber, with a layup that increases flexibility along the length of the fibers and provides more stiffness from side to side. The surface is further boosted with Selkirk's Infinigrit, which supposedly triples the durability of embossed epoxy peel ply texture, while significantly enhancing spin potential. Now, as I mentioned earlier regarding the tariff situation, we've only recently received the new Selkirk paddles with Infinigrit. So if you already have one of these Boomstiks, or even the new Lux Control Air 2, we'd love to hear from you in the comments about your experience with the new Infinigrit surface. The Project Boomstik is a 16mm thick paddle that's available in two shapes, a wide body as well as an elongated. You'll notice that both paddles have long handles over 5.5 inches, with the elongated shape having a longer handle of 5.8 inches. So you'll have no problem getting two hands on either of these paddles. Each paddle is individually weighed, so it'll state on your box, as well as the included inspection card, what your paddle weighs. Weights will range between 8 ounces and 8.4 ounces. The twist weight is understandably higher for the wide body, while the swing weight will likely be higher with the elongated. Now, I've spent some time testing out both paddle shapes on the Project Boomstik, so let's get into what I would rate these paddles in terms of power, control, spin, and maneuverability. Starting with power, I understand why they landed on the name Boomstik. They sound powerful when striking the ball, and they have tons of power output. The surface also has plenty of pop to it, so you don't have to do much with the ball to get it over the net. Players who enjoy attacking and hitting penetrating ground strokes are going to like this paddle. I'd give the wide body a 9.5 out of 10 and the elongated a 10 out of 10 in terms of power. With regards to control or feel, both paddle shapes still perform pretty well in this category. If the high price tag doesn't give it away, these paddles are designed for players who have lots of experience and already have a good sense of feel in the game. They are made for power, but they still felt comfortable and accurate. The Boomstiks are nothing like the Vanguards. They feel a little closer to a Gearbox GX2. I would give the elongated a 7 out of 10 and the wide body an 8 out of 10 in terms of control. One thing that really stood out to me with the Boomstiks was the spin. I could really feel the paddle gripping the ball as I hit my shots. Without a doubt, I would give both shapes a 10 out of 10 in terms of spin. The elongated has more access to spin, naturally due to its longer surface, but both shapes deserve perfect scores for spin, respective to their shapes. Again, these are new paddles, so I'd love to hear your feedback on how yours might be playing after some more rigorous use. This one is definitely a first impression score. The wide body felt the most maneuverable, and that's to be expected with the shape difference. The elongated paddle deserves some recognition in this category though, as it felt like it still has some good balance relative to its swing weight, and it felt more maneuverable than most other elongated paddles. So I give the elongated an 8.5 out of 10 and the wide body a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of maneuverability. I'm glad we were able to get these paddles in. The Selkirk Labs Project Boomstik certainly performed well and lived up to their name. They give off a loud thud that makes you feel as though you're hitting more aggressively than you probably are. They do have a lot of pop to them, meaning the ball can rebound quickly off the face, so you can keep your paddle steady and let it do all the work for you when you're defending or resetting. Based on how they felt, as well as the reported performance metrics that are available out there, they have insanely high levels of spin, with the elongated shape offering the most in terms of power and spin. The wide body is more maneuverable with a user-friendly sweet spot, but the elongated still has a large sweet spot compared to most other elongated paddles. The Boomstiks have one of the highest price tags, and the packaging reflects this. They come in a box that includes a nice paddle cover, the paddle inspection card, some information about the MOI Tuning System, as well as tips on how to take care of the Infinigrit paddle surface. Selkirk recommends that you clean the paddle with a microfiber towel, mild soap, and water to remove residue and restore the texture on the Infinigrit surface, as opposed to using a raw carbon eraser. So that is something to be aware of. Thank you for watching. As always, please let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if there are other products you'd like to see us review in the future. The Selkirk Labs Project Boomstik pickleball paddles are available at pickleballguys.ca. Come check us out.